Welcome back to the Fox Robbins Business Show. Come on in and sit a while. The Fox Robbins Business Show is all about small business. It's all about encouraging small business. It's all about developing your very best business ideas. We talk about anything and everything under the sun that pertains to small business, to starting up or running and expanding, a small business environment. We've got a really a special presentation this time with Adrienne Baumann. We'll get to that in a second. I'm the co-host of the show, Bill Fox, and the other co-host, though, is, get this guy. He is effervescent, he's high-powered, and he is incandescent.
I'm incandescent. Actually, LEDs are taking over from incandescent. So
that's Coach Robbins, and his daily activity is consulting small business, whether someone simply has an idea only and nothing else, or whether someone is in the act of actually trying to get a business going and is doing well or not doing so well, or a business is already up and running and it's having problems, or it's going great and it wants to expand or change or do something different. I think in this case, we want to be talking now about either planning your new business, or once the business is up and running, is being able to expand your contact base and make the business successful.
Yep.
And as mentioned, our guest today is Adrienne Baumann. She is an expert in marketing, which means she's an expert at everything that crawls under the sun, more or less. But we're going to focus her attention today on email marketing.
Yes, sir.
Email ain't dead, guys. Anybody thinks it's dead, that the text is the only thing, or the tweet. Email did not die. It is very much alive, and it is, as far as the three of us are concerned, it's an essential for small business.
Absolutely.
Well, okay, any business, but we don't talk about General Electric. We talk about small business.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, and if you're in small business and there's a time consideration, focus and time for this, and time is very precious in a small business. But we're saying somehow you gotta squeak out the time to make this work.
You got to put the time aside and work on your marketing, and email marketing is a huge piece of your promotional mix.
Here, Adrienne, here's someone a testimony from someone who says that email is valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what email can do for your small business are some of these examples you'll see on the monitor in front of us, but it can absolutely drive revenue and profit, increase your reach. There's a higher return on ROI. We'll get all of that stuff as we go along, but absolutely can drive revenue and profit and increase awareness of your brand, your business, your cause, whatever it may be. Absolutely encourage repeat business, because we know those are your best customers, or the ones that come back.
They're already there. You
And
don't have to go find them.
Talk about you as well. And as you said, email is not dead, because if anybody can think, what's the number one app on smartphones? Email.
Exactly.
It's always where your customers are, so you're going to reach them in their back pocket. And it even reaches way more than social media, direct mail, any of those other types of outreach, because people check it, 91% of people check it every day, multiple times of the day.
Every day, yeah,
right?
every hour.
88% regularly check email on their smartphones.
You bet.
And it's not being filtered through any sort of social media algorithms. They are going to see it. Email gets delivered 90+% of the time, meaning it's going to get through and land in that inbox.
Right.
Versus where you post on your Facebook page, only 2% of your fans are likely to see that because of the algorithm.
Right. This is very direct.
Absolutely.
Very
and
direct
people have
marketing.
opted in to receive your email, so that's the key, is they've invited you in.
Thing. Yeah,
and we'll talk about that.
marketing from 20 years ago. Seth Godin, get their permission and go talk to them.
Exactly. And email is, as we say, everywhere. So here's some other factoids. It's got 3 times the conversion rate of social media. And here's your ROI, about $44 on average returned from email marketing for every dollar spent.
Boy, I wish my 201k were doing that
That's
well.
right? Wouldn't that be nice?
It used to be a 401k, but you know.
Now it's down to a 201?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
it's coming back. But I think it's a 301k now.
that's good.
Yeah.
So you mentioned getting permission, and that's exactly where
Right.
any small business would start if you're brand new, or even if you're in your 30th year, you keep going, is to ask permission and have people opt in to receive your emails.
You bet.
And you want to give them a reason why to do that. So first you get their consent and be straightforward, meaning here's what I'm going to send you. You're going to get a monthly update on our sales and specials, or you're going to get a weekly email on what's going on in our business, whatever it happens to be. You want to set that expectation.
Right.
And by law, you do have to offer that opt-out.
You do.
And that's where...
And you should anyway, yeah.
Right,
It is the law.
and that's where email service providers come in versus trying to send it right from your regular old inbox.
Right.
So you have to have that opt-out. And you have to respect privacy, meaning you're not going to share your list with others or sell it or send them things that aren't relevant.
Right.
Exactly. And be compliant with the CAN-SPAM Act of 2006, which is ever so important. So where do you get people to sign up for your email lists?
Yeah,
Where would you do that?
Where do you do that?
Everywhere.
Well, how about if you're in a business and people actually come to your store, if you ask them,
Yeah.
what a novel idea, actually talk to them and say, you know what, if you'd like information about some of these products, we love to educate our customers, because an educated customer is probably going to come back and buy
Right.
from you.
Yeah.
And by the way, we will have some specials, and if you'd like to see that, you can give them a menu and see which type of email would you like.
Exactly.
So
And that depends on what you're going to
but they're
send.
standing right in front of you, giving you their credit card. Well, geez, would you like to be on our email address list?
Exactly.
Here's what we would be promoting or
Right.
giving to you.
And if you don't have a bricks and mortar physical location like that, you can put a button on your website.
Exactly.
You can, it'll lead right to this sign-up sheet
Yep.
that they could fill right in
Yep.
off the button off your website. You can add opt-in right onto your Facebook page.
Yeah, on Facebook.
You
right.
can do it QR codes on your business cards.
Yep.
There's a text to join. Even just ask, like you said, hey,
Yep.
you know what? I do have an email list, and now you can keep up with all the shows that are upcoming on Fox Robbins. Just
Exactly.
here's my card. Yes, add me, and
I'd
that's
like
giving
me, yeah.
permission.
Yeah, please send me a monthly update. Great.
Exactly.
Perfect. Permission marketing.
Yeah, and we can run through some more of these ideas on where, if you're at a networking event or any kind of event, again, using QR codes. What are some of the others we have on? Oh, signage. Yeah. Text to join. You can see join our list.
Sidewalk sign.
Check boxes if you're doing any sort of surveys, or like you said, if they're right at
Yep.
your front desk or at your cash register, you have a little sign-up sheet right there.
Right.
When you
Constant
do those,
Contact used to have a little book that they'd give to retailers and leave right on the counter. They still
to
do
people,
that?
probably.
Yeah, there's just a little book that,
do it with
they leave
any-
right there and say, look, the guy's, there's
You
customers
just need
standing
any
right there.
piece of paper.
Would you like me to add you to our email list and we have specials on occasion? Yeah, sure.
And that's going back
Here's
to
my
setting that
email address,
expectation.
right.
A lot of retailers would say, if you join our mailing list, then you'll be the first to know of upcoming sales. So
Exactly.
you're getting some exclusive content
right.
that way.
Differentiate yourself somehow.
The fishbowl idea, again, if people are dropping in a business card to enter to win something, as long as you say, you'll be added to our email
Right.
list.
Or just, would
and-
you like to be?
Right,
And
and
by
just
the way,
ask.
we have a drawing for,
I see those a lot at hotels
Yep.
where it's, enter
Time
to
at
win a free
hotel,
lunch
right.
or a restaurant.
a stay at Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump. Well, never mind.
Well, didn't that get damaged? But no, he had the protective bubble.
Yeah.
But yeah, using text to join, that's a really
Yep.
successful one because it's so easy to do right from your
Well,
phone.
text is huge today, yeah,
Right,
obviously.
so you can say, oh, you want to join my list? Just text 25 to whatever it is,
Yep.
and then you'll receive it, and then
You'll be right in
it'll
there.
pop right up. They can fill in their information.
Yep.
Yep. Again, there's the,
There's the sign, sign
Sandwich
out
board
front.
sign.
so that's giving them an incentive. This is an idea, get $10 off when you join. So text join, and we're going to give you a bonus by joining
That's
our
right.
list.
We're giving you a coupon,
That's your
special
incentive.
promotion.
Yep, easy peasy.
Yep,
QR codes, if you have a sign in your window, it can be on your business card, on any of your print collateral. Just scan the code or have the text to join right on your collateral.
I asked the university to put QR code on my business card, and they said, a what? Never mind.
Yeah, well, there's what it is. I prefer the text to join
I do,
over
I
the
like that,
QR
yeah.
code, because the QR codes, you tend to have the QR reader, and
That's right.
everybody
you
can
need,
text.
You
so.
need both to match, but everybody's
But everybody's
texting. All he needs
different.
is a phone
yeah.
number.
Give
All
them
he
the
needs is a
options.
phone number.
Exactly.
Right.
And then again, giving them that reason to join, where it was get the $10 off, or be the first to know about upcoming specials or upcoming events.
Take action. Give them a
Whatever
reason
it
to
is.
act now.
Exactly. So
Right.
these would be all the different
There you go.
reasons.
Yep.
Right. So whatever it is that is going to attract your audience, why should I join your email list?
Right, because I'm going to give you a discount if you buy something, or
Mm-hmm.
we're going to let you know first when we're coming out with a new special or a brand new product in the market. We'll
Right.
just introduce it to you first.
And the most
Special
important
showing,
thing is
private
to
showing, whatever.
stick with what you said you're going to do.
Right.
Because as you can see, the number one reason people unsubscribe is that the content is irrelevant.
Right.
So if I say I'm going to join your mailing list because you told me you're going to tell me about upcoming specials, and then all I'm getting from you is constant ads, I don't want
Then
that.
I will
And I'll
click
unsubscribe.
unsubscribe.
Exactly. So let's talk about content. What is the great content that your readers want? If they're going to subscribe, why? Here's some ideas. You want to be obviously relevant in what you're telling them. It's the interest you've told them. You don't want to tell too much, right? You don't want to give them a whole
Oh.
giant
Yeah.
sized email.
Sound bites.
Sound bites.
Right.
Yeah, you can take questions. Sometimes you get frequently asked questions. Just
Yep.
go ahead and turn those into content.
Yep.
And images are content too. So we'll take a look at some of those.
I've long since found out on emails that you know the amount of text or information you put in there, you've got to keep it. You got to cut it short.
Absolutely.
Bullets, just sound bites, quick.
And links.
I've
Right,
had
and
like I'll
links.
send out an email
links,
and I'll
yeah.
have 3 items listed there or whatever.
Yeah.
And people reply back only on the first one, and just simply skip or ignore
Right.
number 2 and 3. Say, wait a minute, that doesn't. Yeah, that's what happens. You've got to keep it. You got to keep it short.
Because you're only going to get about 1 to 2 seconds
Yeah.
of their attention.
Right.
And if you don't get attention,
Once they
you don't
open
move
it.
forward.
And here you go. If it's boring, we're not going to keep
Right.
getting it from you. Or they're going to send it to spam.
You mentioned the word content. Content is still
King.
critical and king. You're right. I was
Content
gonna
is
say
more like
queen.
the emperor now.
In deference to you, I was going to say
Well, I
content was
appreciate
queen.
that.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
The rest of those guys, all I know
Content
is
is empress.
it's in charge. Content is critical.
Absolutely. And not too much, as you
No,
said.
Yeah.
sound bites.
How much is enough? Less.
And the reason for that is most people are reading that content
mobile, and it's
on
gotta
a
be
mobile
mobile,
device.
yeah.
So you want to think about 20 lines of text or so,
Well, that's a great suggestion.
Yep.
3 pictures.
Yep.
Yeah.
People like pictures. We're human
Not
beings.
too many. This
are,
is just a general.
Yeah. Right.
And then there you go. Fewer links equals more clicks. So if you hyperlink every single thing in the email, that can be a little overwhelming.
That's clutter.
But 1 or 2,
Right.
as long as they're relevant.
Creating your own clutter is a mistake.
Right? So then turning regular questions into content. So how do I ensure my pipes won't burst this winter? Things like that. If you're a plumber, that's a great, in fact, I got a really great email from my veterinarian this Thanksgiving where they gave tips on keeping your pet safe during Thanksgiving. Like, don't give them the fat and the turkey skin and things
Yeah.
like that, and make sure that you properly
Yeah, all the
package and
bones,
secure
yeah.
the bones for the dogs. Yeah, and that was completely relevant
You bet.
and helpful.
You bet.
And that's perfect. How do you keep your pet safe? Or get more people, whatever it is. Those types of questions that you can then turn into the content.
Content.
So there's the sample subject headings. 5 ways to protect your pipes this winter. Top 3 da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
Makes sense? Because that's what people want to know. And again, images are content too. Our brain processes images much more quickly than text.
I say to people all the time, if I say to you elephant, what do you see?
An elephant.
An elephant with a big nose and big ears, and you don't see E-L-E.
Right.
You don't see that. That's not what human beings. We
Right.
process pictures.
We
very
process
quickly.
images. That's why they
Long
say an
before
image
we
is
could
worth
speak.
1,000 words.
Long before we could speak, we recognized
That's
our
right.
mom and everything else, right?
Before humans even had written language,
That's
we
right.
had
Right.
hieroglyphs and cave drawings. But your images do count as content, so you can make those clickable.
Yep.
And you want to keep your primary content above the scroll, as you just referenced. People will respond to just maybe the first thing. They didn't scroll down and see the next 2 or 3 things.
Above the fold.
So limit the choices.
Some people don't even
keep
know
it
enough to
brief.
fold, to scroll through the fold.
Right.
Right. Leave it right on top.
That's it. Then I'm a fan of repeating it a couple of times in the
Well,
content.
if it's
they
important,
scroll,
you should repeat it.
Sure,
and-
give them
and
a couple of
proxi-
options.
Well, I don't know. Please forgive me, folks. I'm about to tell you something is perfectly clean. I learned the rule of CRAP. C-R-A-P. Contrast, in other words, black on white, so it's legible.
Right.
Repeatability is the R. If
Mm-hmm.
it's important, repeat it. Alignment, put things where they belong, and proximity, things that should go together should go together. So you thought I was being nasty.
No, that's a good load of
that's-
crap.
That's a good acronym,
Yeah.
the rule of crap. Right. You knew
Love
I'd
it.
come up with something like that, didn't you? Yeah. I learned it somewhere. I think it was
Yeah,
at RISD, quite frankly,
Yeah?
because they do a lot of website development. I was there, I was watching something, they said, and now we'll give our students the rule of crap. And I, ooh, what? Contrast, repeatability, alignment, and proximity.
It's a good way to remember
Yeah,
it.
it is.
And look great.
Right, and then of course the branding component is to make sure you're recognizable. So it can be tempting to change your template and make it like, ooh, this color or seasonality and making it different.
No, no.
But you do want to be
Coca-Cola's
recognizable.
always in red and white.
Exactly,
And big blue, IBM, always blue, right?
exactly. So know your branding, be consistent with your branding and make it match,
The
your
brand-
website.
Your brand identity is the most valuable asset a company
That's
can
a
have.
whole nother topic
That's for sure.
and a
You
good
said-
one.
Optimized for mobile,
Yeah.
that's this thing.
Right.
Guys, one of these
Particularly,
is
right.
that, what's the percentage going on of people who have smartphones and
It's funny you ask. We'll get to that, but interesting factoid that more people in the world own a smartphone than an object that we all have and should have, and we'll get to that. Be a fun surprise.
It'll keep
Think
you
about that.
interested.
What do you think?
Yeah, think about it. There's a question for you.
But being recognizable with your images, your colors, your language, all of that branding
Yep.
stuff.
Sure. The golden arches. I mean, they're not even golden, they're yellow.
Yeah,
but
they're
they're
yellow.
never going to be in blue.
I should hope not. You could
We
pop
wouldn't
all those
recognize
out.
them.
So the types of content you might share could be your monthly or your regular newsletters to stay top of mind, announcements if something important is happening,
Yep.
a new event or a new promotion or something. All of those things are types of different content. So here's a simple recipe for your success. Again, optimizing for mobile, so you want to have ideally a single column template with about 3 images, fewer than 20 lines of text, no more than 3 to 5 links, and the key action above the scroll.
Above the fold, right?
Now you want people to actually open the email.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What's the first thing that you look at when you get an email? Who's it from?
Right.
What's the subject heading? What time of day is this landing in my
Right.
e-box?
That's important too, yeah.
Right. And can I follow this or find this elsewhere? So the sender is the most important thing. If you
Yes.
don't know who it's from or if it looks like a wonky name in the first couple
You
of
delete
seconds,
it immediately. Don't
Yeah,
even
you
look
don't
at the
even look.
subject line.
right? So if you don't recognize it straight away, I might look at the subject heading next
Yep.
as my second level verification. If I don't think that looks legitimate, you're deleted.
Goodbye.
So your from name and your from email should be used consistently, and it should include your business name in it.
Absolutely.
And I do tell folks a lot of times, if you don't have a business website, a lot of folks will have like, their business name at gmail.com, and that's fine.
Yeah, it
as
is.
long as it has your business name in it.
Right.
You don't want it to come from, softkitty555 at Yahoo, and they're supposed to know that that's 508 marketing. They're
Yeah,
not
that's
going
right.
to know that.
It's not.
By the way, I don't use softkitty555. So apologies if that's your email.
Yeah.
So let's move along to the next one. So here we go. 1/3 of the people will open your email based on the subject line.
Absolutely.
a third, huh?
Critically
And
important.
that's assuming you got past the from field.
Right.
They know it's you, they recognize you.
And what is this about? And that interests me. They got my attention because I see this name. I opted in on that. I might be interested based on what the subject line is
And the
stating.
subject heading has to be compelling.
It has to be
Right?
clear.
It's not very exciting when you get it and it just says monthly newsletter from 508 Marketing. Like,
Boring.
all right, maybe I'll
Boring.
get to that.
Right.
So
And you
let's-
said it before, you know, that it's, guys, it's the old 3-second rule. You've got 1, 2, 3, bam, you're dead. Unless
it.
if you didn't make the sale
Right.
in that 3 seconds, you're
That's right.
dead meat.
Yep.
Who's it from? What's the subject heading? If you don't pass that,
You'll never
You're
get
gone.
to, it's attention, 3 seconds, it's interest, whatever. And if you don't get that through that, you're never gonna get conviction to do anything.
right. So your subject heading is an opportunity to be creative and clever and fun.
Yep.
But
And
also
fun.
you want to be
Right.
avoid certain
Yep,
spammy words. So you
Right.
don't want it to be too long.
right,
You want it to be within, the first 5 to 8 words
that's enough.
are the best.
Yep,
No more than 10. They get chopped off,
Yep.
of course, depending. And then you do have the option to add pre-header text, which is relatively new.
right,
So you want to have a nice subject heading, and then using the pre-header text that's at the top of that, where it says "Aspire to higher ground, join us," blah blah blah.
right,
So let's get to that. These are the words you want to avoid in your subject heading,
yeah,
because the email clients tend to, like the Gmails, Hotmails, Yahoo, all of those, recognize these as spammy words.
Yeah.
So you're likely to get filtered into the spam or the junk box if you're using exclamation marks, any of these high
Right.
spam words,
Yeah.
all capital letters, any of that
free,
kind of stuff.
urgent,
Let's see,
yeah,
click, get free,
Right.
home, cash,
Right.
no, credit.
Free
urgent
cash.
order,
Yeah, free cash, uh-huh.
sure.
I'm still waiting for that check from the Prince of Nigeria.
You know, I was gonna call him.
Did you get yours?
No, I didn't.
No?
I was very concerned. Sometimes I'll actually send something back, just send cash. Really,
And the time of day or the day of the week. So let's
that's important.
and how often.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when you first set that expectation where you said join my mailing list,
Yeah.
it'll be monthly or weekly or whatever it is.
Yep,
So stick to that.
right. And be
And-
consistent. If you're gonna give them something monthly and they opt in for monthly, make sure it's the first Tuesday of every month or something
Whatever it is.
consistent, right?
And at least do it monthly. If you do it more frequently than that, once in a while it's okay if it is promoting
Yeah.
a new event
Something
or a new special.
or a new, yeah, like say a new event, yeah.
That's okay.
Day of the week, Monday to Wednesday is, apparently that's critical.
Yeah, that tends to be, it depends on your audience.
Yeah.
So actually there's different good times for different industries.
Oh.
So there's some of these different things that tend to work, but it's not going to work for everybody. You're going to want to test it out.
Restaurant, 7 a.m. Accountants and financial advisors, Tuesday at 6.
Yeah,
It's just some various.
and like you
Hotels,
say,
inns,
ideas.
and D&Ds
test it
are
out,
monthly.
see what works.
Yeah.
And, it's my Henny Youngman rule. Oh, you're gonna love this. The Henny Youngman rule. Henny Youngman, the guy who used to play the violin,
Mm-hmm.
tell the one-line jokes.
Take my wife, please.
Well, this one is a marketing rule that I adopted as a marketing rule because I view everything through a marketing lens. He's playing his violin. He says, "You know what? I went to my doctor." I said, "Doc, it hurts when I do this." Doctor said, "Don't do that."
Don't do that.
Same thing in marketing. You tried something.
It didn't work.
It didn't
Don't
work. Well,
do
try
that.
something else because Dr. Einstein also said if you do the same thing and expect a different result, you're nuts. Right?
That's exactly right. And include your social buttons in there as well.
Absolutely.
It just increases your click through. But let's talk a little bit more
It's all about click-through rates. Sure.
the timing.
Yep.
So tracking your results, well, that's important. So what worked? If it didn't work, don't do it.
There you go.
If it did work, do it again.
Try it again.
But know what matters, and then using that data to make those slight changes and using the test through.
Right.
So you want to at least set the goal for your email. What is the point?
Right.
Well, there's a call to action, and that's going to be a click. So you're going to watch those click-throughs and see what works. So gauging the interest to determining your best day and time, you can do this a few different ways. You can test it by sending the exact same email with the exact same subject heading to split your list in half or thirds and send one on one day of the week, one another day, or a different time of day.
And see if there was a difference in the response.
Exactly.
Right.
What's the industry average is 8 to 28%.
For the open rates.
Yeah.
Now the open rate, I think we may have talked about this before, it's not a hard and fast rule that percent is exactly right. An email counts as being opened if the images are downloaded, basically. So depending on how people read your email, they may not automatically download images. They may receive it as text only. They just may read it in their preview pane and never actually open it.
Right.
So don't live and die by those numbers.
Right. Because
But
I
know
do
that that's the
I mean,
average.
It's just in the preview, and if it's interesting to me, then I'll click on it and enlarge it so my old eyes can see it.
Right. So
And
the open
click-throughs.
rate can sometimes be misleading, where
Yeah.
people think, God, that you really want to look at the clicks.
Right.
If that was the call to action, how many people actually took that call to action?
Right.
And that's more accurate to what you're measuring.
Sure is.
So that's how you can measure the success and identify who the engaged readers are. You can also re-engage audience that didn't open it. You'll get that in some of the analytics using Constant Contact or your other email service provider.
Sure.
And try new methods, try new things like times of day, days of the week, etc. Okay?
Wait a minute, I missed that. It says industry average 72 to 92%.
That didn't open. It's just the opposite end of
Yeah,
the
right.
opened.
Okay,
The reciprocal number.
Yes.
yeah.
And then for folks who are opting out, well, of course, you legally have to provide that option.
Yeah.
But when they click that opt-out button, you do have the opportunity to ask them why.
Yeah.
Was
right.
it too many emails? Was
Yeah.
it relevant? I don't.
Would you like to change the frequency to try to keep
Exactly.
them, instead of weekly, would you prefer monthly? Would you only prefer us to tell you about
Different
this?
topics.
You can ask that. Yes, different
Exactly.
things.
Let's jump through some of these here. Now, bounces in having a clean list, that's huge. If you've had your business list for more than 2 or 3 years, you're likely to have some email addresses that are
Bad.
no longer valid.
Right.
So you want to keep those
Adrienne,
clean.
we gotta go, we're gonna do a second episode to cover our content,
Okay.
for email marketing. So we're gonna end this episode, but we'll have a second episode with Adrienne Baumann about email, the ins and outs of email marketing. And thank you for joining Fox Robbins, and come back for the next episode on this topic. And we will be uploading the show to YouTube, so you can watch the Fox Robbins show at your convenience on YouTube,
That's good.
or any other time that makes sense to you. And thank you for coming, and we'll see you next time.